Hey guys, how are you? Sorry that I am late by like 10 minutes. I had tech problems. Like nothing was letting me connect. I think my internet was down. But hello, but I wasn't gonna quit. I wasn't gonna quit, and I was absolutely gonna be here for you today. So hello, happy Thursday. How is your week going? As you know, in this group today is Gold Star Thursday. That's my day to be like, woo woo! It's Gold Star Thursday. What are we celebrating? So whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, I want you to go ahead and drop in the comments and let me know, what are we celebrating? What goals did you reach this week? What actions did you take to reach those goals, or just actions in general did you take that felt uncomfortable? Or what mindsets did you embody that allowed you to do all of this? So it's Gold Star Thursday. That's the way we're going to start. Like, I'm celebrating you with a woo woo. Go ahead and comment. Let me know you're here, and let me know what is something we are celebrating this week. Like, it can be huge, like you signed a client. It can be small, like, I mean, I think this is huge, but you like did your first Facebook Live or something like that. So what are we celebrating? Let me know. But we are talking today about the cycle of quitting. Okay, so we're talking about the cycle of quitting. And the reason that I talk about this so much is because I think a lot of people are out there in the business world, right? In the business coaching world, and they're saying, guys, consistency is key. How many of you have heard that? Consistency is key. You need to be consistent. You need to pick a strategy and stick with it. You need to not bail on your strategy. You need to see it through. Showing up and being consistent is the only way to results, right? And I'm not disputing that. But you hear a lot about that, right? But what you signed to clients, oh my goodness, I don't know who this is. So hold on. I got to come into my group so that I can see, because your name is not authorized with StreamYard. So who is this? Ella, hello, signed to clients. That is so incredible. Congratulations. I'm going to do a whoop, whoop. Like, if I had music right now, I'd be like, my bells, my sound effect. Oh, actually, hold on, guys. Ella, this is for you. I haven't used this yet, but I have wanted to use this. So here we go. We're going to celebrate your two clients. Ready? I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear that? It's like so ridiculous. It's like, I want. There you go. There you go. Congratulations. Congratulations. So we're talking about the cycle of quitting today. And the reason that we're talking about the cycle of quitting is because there's something that I say this a lot, and we hear this a lot about the importance of consistency. Consistency is key. Show up every day. Pick a strategy, work it. If you keep working a strategy, you'll work it, it'll eventually work, because you'll work it until it works. I mean, I've said these things before, right? And it's true. I'm not disputing any of this. But what's not being talked about, okay, what's not being talked about enough, I believe, is why are we quitting? Like, why? I mean, we pick a strategy, we decide, okay, so we have an idea, there's something we want to do in our business or in our life. We are excited about it. We're really gung-ho about it. We either, before ever taking an action, decide not to, or we start taking an action and then we bail on it and we don't see it through. So all you hear out like in the internet land is just show up, keep doing it, work it till it works, consistency. You'll get it done, right? And you will. But you can't do that if you don't understand why it is that you keep quitting. Like, you just can't do it if you don't understand why. Why do I keep quitting? And so that's what we're talking about. So I'm curious, if you're here live or if you're watching on replay, what is something that, and I'm going to type this up too so you guys can see the question, but what's something that you've recently stopped? Like, what's something that you were doing that you've stopped doing, right? What is something that, let me reword this. What is something you really wanted to do and you either never started or stopped doing it soon after starting? What is something? There you go. What's something that you really wanted to do and you either never started or you stopped doing it soon after you started? I'm curious. I would love to know, right? And these can be things like when I put this thing here, I always feel like I need to like lower it a little more. So my head is up, right? But like, what is it? I mean, whether it's working out, a new workout plan, whether it's a time block schedule for your business, whether it was a certain strategy, like you were going to do Instagram reels, or you were going to send a newsletter, or you were going to start networking more, or you were going to start waking up at 5 a.m., or you were going to journal every day. What is that thing that I'm going to use a sound pad now for everything, guys, right? Because it's like, what's the thing that you started that you stopped? And because there's like no response here, this is what I've got to say about that. Right, I need a big loud speaker for this sound pad in the future. That's what I'm gonna do. So tell me, and even if you're on replay, but I want you to tell me something that you have recently, not recently, just something in the past that you were really excited about doing, and then you either never started it. You were like, yes, I'm going to do a webinar. Yes, I'm going to write a book. Yes, I'm going to pitch myself to speak. Yes, I'm going to whatever, lead my own masterclass. Yes, I'm going to launch a course. Yes, I'm going to, and then you either never did it, like you never never did it, or you started to implement it, you started working it, and then you stopped. So what is that thing? And again, I'm going to list some ideas one more time. It could be in your life, but I prefer that you share something in your business. But like working out, that's the personal one, right? Because that's part of your business, taking care of yourself. Maybe you were going to start going to bed earlier. Maybe you were going to start waking up earlier. Maybe you were going to journal. Maybe you were going to send a newsletter. Maybe you were going to do Instagram or Instagram stories, or start posting on Facebook more, or network in a Facebook group. Maybe you were going to go to a networking group. Maybe you were going to launch a course or offer a program. Maybe you were going to raise your rates. Maybe you were going to do something like this at Facebook Live. Maybe you were going to do a series. Maybe you were going to start using a new software. Maybe you were going to start. What is the thing that you've thought about? You guys are quiet. What's the thing you thought about doing and you either never started it, or you thought about doing it and got excited about it, but then you started taking a few actions and then you kind of stopped, right? Now, I'm not saying, and I'm like, the sun is about to like shine into my face. I am not saying that quitting is a bad thing. Some people will be like, quitters never quit. Like, sometimes you need to quit. Sometimes there's certain things that you shouldn't do because they're not working, right? But we're not talking about those times. But I do want to say that quitting is not a bad thing, okay? But what is important is that you understand why. Why are you quitting? Unless you understand why, you'll never be able to like really overcome that problem. And as business owners, we have to do really uncomfortable things, right? We have to do uncomfortable things, and we have to sit in the discomfort of not seeing results from doing the thing, right? When people say, hey, Rita, how do I make more money in my business? How do I like get better results in my business? I say it's simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. It's simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. So what do you need to do? You need to be committed, meaning you have to show up every day, regardless of how you feel. You have to put in the work, right? You have to take action daily, and you have to give it like 100%. And then you have to ask for the sale. That's it. Like, do you want to make more money, be more successful in your business? Be committed, put in the work, ask for the sale, repeat. Be committed, put in the work, ask for the sale, repeat. It's simple, but that sure isn't easy, right? That's not easy. It's hard. It is uncomfortable to put yourself out there and then not see the results. So what's important is cultivating that mindset of commitment. That's going to be one of the most important things that you can cultivate in your business. It's actually non-negotiable because you have to move through, right? You have to move through the discomfort to get to the other side, to get to the results. This is where most entrepreneurs cut and run. They start implementing a strategy and they take a few actions, but they're not seeing the results they want, so they stop and they hop over to another strategy. You have to cultivate the mindset of commitment to see that strategy through so you get to the other side and you get to the results. However, to be able to cultivate that mindset of commitment, you have to understand the mindset. You have to understand, why am I not doing that, right? And this isn't going to be the easiest thing you've ever done, because building a business is not going to be the easiest thing that you've ever done, right? Like, here comes the sun. You see it? You see it? Like, they always show you in the soap operas, like, the light over the eyes. It's not going to look like that here. It's not going to look like that here. So yes, you have to move through the discomfort so that you can be consistent with the actions so that you can get the results. But this is about why and how you're not. It's easy to say do it. It's more difficult to understand, well, why am I not being consistent? Why do I keep picking strategies and I'm not consistent? Why do I say I'm going to send a newsletter and then I send it inconsistently? Why do I say I'm going to do Facebook Lives and then I get inconsistent with Facebook Lives? Why do I say I'm going to post on Facebook every day, but then I get inconsistent with posting on Facebook? Why do I say that I'm going to do whatever it is, right? Wake up at 5 a.m., journal every day, do my mindset work. Why do I say this? And then I'm not consistent with doing it. Like, what is happening? What is happening when you're quitting? That's what we're not talking about here, right? That's what we're not talking about. But we're talking about it today. But I feel like I need to close my blinds before like something terrible happens. Actually, I'm just going to keep shifting. Keep shifting to avoid the sun. Okay. And this comes up because a lot of people get on sales calls with me. Okay, so they get on sales calls with me because they're like, Rita, we got to talk about a strategy. I got to talk about a new strategy. I need a new strategy for billing my program. I need a new strategy for getting more clients. I need a new strategy for getting Instagram followers, right? Or I need help with sales. I need help with sales calls, Rita. I need help with, you know what? This is real-time live. I'm going to shut my blinds before I go crazy. Hold on one second. Look at that. Live video, guys. Live video. Okay. So they say, like, I need a new strategy or I need help with sales. I need to know how to convert a sales call better. I need to know how to. So they get on the phone with me thinking that they have a marketing problem or a sales problem. But what they have is a stopping problem. It's what we're just talking about. They pick a strategy. They're not seeing the results that they want. So they stop being consistent with it, or they stop it completely. Or even worse, sometimes they pick a strategy and they stop before they ever start. And then they're not seeing the results, right? So they're kind of creating the situation, like, because they're not sticking with the strategy long enough to actually get to see results, because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to be in the period where you aren't going to see results. And so you have to have that mindset of commitment. So then the question is, like, why are we stopping? What's going on? So the first thing to note is that people think it's a sales problem. They think it's a marketing problem. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do about the sun. They think it's a marketing problem. I think it's a sunlight problem. They think I give up, guys. I give up. I don't know what to do. They think it's a marketing problem. They think it's a sales problem. It's a stopping problem, right? They start something, no results, they stop. Or here's another way that this plays out. They start something, okay, and then they do see results, but they get inconsistent with it because they're like, it's working. So maybe they send a newsletter and they send a newsletter like 2 times, 3 times. People are opening it. People are engaging with it. And then they get inconsistent with it after it stopped working. So it's not even just about not seeing results. Sometimes it's still quitting, even when you're starting to see that something has traction, even though it's not the traction that you're hoping to like really see. So then the question becomes, why? Why? Does anybody have any idea why? And that's why I asked the question, what is something that you really wanted to do and you either never started it or you started it and you stopped soon after doing it? Bueller? All right. So before we jump into, right, like, and it's, I could go into all of this backstory, right, about times that I quit, times I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna shortcut to the real, the real thing that's happening. Okay. So you have an idea. Pretend it's a circle. Let's draw a circle on a piece of paper. Okay. Let's do this together. Let me get a sheet of paper. I'm gonna assume most of you are gonna watch on replay. I guess Thursdays at 4 is not a good time for a live. I'm starting to not know when to reach you guys. But let's draw a circle. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Draw a circle on a piece of paper, okay? All right, cool. I gotta shut my other blinds. Hold on. This is the craziest live ever, guys. The craziest live ever. All right. There we go. Nope. I don't know. I give up. I give up. I give up. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. There we go. Maybe that'll work. It's not better. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. Welcome to live video. Welcome to the Rita Show. Okay, let's go into the cycle of quitting. So now you have the circle. All right. The first thing that we have with this circle is an idea. There's like an idea that you have, okay? And you're really excited about the idea, right? You're excited about it. Super excited about it. Maybe you start taking some actions, right? You take some actions towards the idea. But then, okay, then you start second guessing. Then you start second guessing and doubting this, right? You have an idea, you're excited, you take actions, but then you start second guessing and you're doubting what you're doing. So why does that happen, right? This is that period where there aren't results. This is a period of discomfort. This is the danger zone. That's the danger zone. This is where you have to stay consistent with it in order to get the results. But because you're not seeing the results and you're second guessing yourself and you're doubting, the next thing is you stop. So you stop taking action on it. Okay, you stop taking action on the thing. But then there's more. It's like, wait, there's more. So you stop taking action on the thing. And then guess what? Then you feel relief. And you feel like, oh, thank goodness. You feel like this internal sense of relief. Like, well, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to show up for that anymore. I don't have to like X, Y, and Z anymore. Right? But then that relief turns into guilt. Okay? So now you feel guilty. Now you feel guilty about stopping. And you feel guilty about not taking action on the thing. And when you feel that guilt, when you feel guilty about not taking action on the thing, guess what happens, right? Then, see that line? You start second guessing the decision to stop. You start second guessing the decision to stop. And instead, what you do is you're like, well, maybe I should do something else, or should I start that up again? Which is why you might do something, but do it inconsistently. So I'm going to go pull this up on the phone too, so I can see if there are any comments happening over there. But how many of you can relate to that? Yes or no? How many of you see yourself of this? Oh, I got to turn this down. How many of you see yourself in some of the pieces of the cycle of quitting that I was talking about? Right? We've got the cycle of quitting. Isn't it beautiful? We've got the cycle of quitting. You have an idea and you're super stoked and excited about the idea. Yay! Yay! We're so excited. And then you start taking actions towards the idea, but then you're second guessing and you're doubting because you're in the danger zone where you start a strategy and you're implementing it, but it hasn't been implemented consistently or long enough yet for you to see results. So you're second guessing and you're doubting, which ultimately leads you to stopping. You're not doing the thing anymore, which leads to a feeling of relief for a moment, because the relief turns into guilt at stopping, which leads you to second guessing and doubting yourself. And you're stuck in a loop that you can't get out of. Do you guys see that? That's what's going on with the cycle of quitting. And once you realize that, then you realize that the skill that you need to learn, right? The skill you need to learn is how to get through that danger zone period, is how to get through the discomfort, that period of time of not how to walk through it, how to feel discomfort and walk through it to get to the other side, so that you don't keep stopping. Because if you keep stopping, you're not going to see results, and then that's only going to like strengthen the cycle, because now you're really going to be worried about not getting results. Does that make sense? If you're here on replay, let me know if that makes sense, right? Now, when I started my job, when I started my business, 7 years ago, I quit my job on a Friday and I started my coaching practice on a Monday, and I was excited. I had an idea. I was excited. It was going to work. Of course it was going to work. How could it not work, right? But then by the end of the month, guess where I was? I was in the second guessing and the doubting stage. I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I remember a prospective client said no to working with me, and it was the second one that day, and it was the sixth one that week. Then the next day, my car stopped. I remember this. My car literally just flat out stopped. And I had it towed, and the shop was like, well, it's going to cost $3,500 to get it fixed. It's going to cost $3,500. And I got home and I had a $500 property tax bill that I was not anticipating in any way, shape, or form. And I remember that day. This was like way back, like 7 years ago. I laid down on my bed and I just cried. Like, I was just like sobbing and crying. I stopped long enough to actually get under the covers and like go to sleep. And I don't know if that's just me, or have you ever had that experience? Like, have any of you ever had that experience? That wasn't the only one for me either, right? But the experience is that you make a decision that will be good for you. You make a decision that will change the trajectory of your business and of your life. And when you finally start taking action, it feels like everything starts falling apart. It feels like you're not getting the results. It feels like all of a sudden you have these unanticipated expenses. It feels like you have this health problem. It's not that it feels like, but these things are happening. Unanticipated expenses, a health problem, you're not seeing the results that you want, right? The hot water heater breaks, you get a flat tire, unexpected bill shows up, your boss, if you're in a career, right, 9 to 5, makes overtime mandatory, your kid is getting sick, COVID happens, homeschooling is happening. Do you see? It's like, why does this always seem to happen? Well, here's what's going on, right? That life-changing decision and all of the actions that you have to take to make it happen, they're scary, right? They feel scary, and your brain is wired to protect you. Your brain wants to keep you safe. It will default you to the choices that keep you safe, meaning instead of embracing the discomfort and doing what we're saying, walking through that discomfort to get to the other side, your brain wants you to stop. It wants you to fall into this. It wants you to stop taking action, okay? It wants you to stop. So this is what's holding so many people back, right? In their business. It's not a marketing problem. It's not a sales problem. It is a stopping problem. But they write it off as, well, I started a strategy. It wasn't working. It must have been the wrong strategy. I started marketing in this way, but it wasn't working. So it must be the wrong marketing strategy. Or, hey, I'm doing this in my sales, but it's not working. It must be a sales problem. But it's a stopping problem, right? And that's where you're going to cut and run, in that danger zone. But no hard skill. So when we talk about what do you need to cultivate, the mindset of commitment. So we avoid this. We want to avoid stopping, feeling relief, and then feeling guilt at the idea of stopping and getting started in this loop. Instead, we want to get through second guessing and doubting, and where we want to go is to continue so that you ultimately see results. We want to get to there, right? So that you ultimately see results. So how do you do it? No amount of like a hard skill. There's no amount of reading. There's no amount of learning that will help you cultivate the mindset of commitment that's necessary to do that. The only thing that will help you get out of your own way so that you can walk through the discomfort to get to the results, the only thing is support, right? That's why I created my program, the Six Figure CEO Mastermind. You guys have heard me talking about this program, right? The women who have taken this over the past couple of years, the past couple of rounds, I wrote down a list of things they've been able to achieve because they didn't stop, right? And they acknowledge this is just a stopping problem. I need this group to help me not stop, right? They hit their first 5K month. They hit their first 10K month. They've hit their first 20K months, right? They've gotten selected to speak for TEDx. They signed their first corporate client. This was the last round or the round before, generating $50,000 in revenue. Their first corporate client. They became fully booked with a waiting list through the first half of this year. They paid more in 2019 taxes than they made in all of 2018, right? The taxes in 2019 that they had to pay was more than all the money they actually made in 2018. They reduced their working hours. One person reduced her working hours to 25 a week while hitting $10,000 in a month. Hired their first team members. Almost everyone is now having a team, right? They've launched a podcast. They've published a book because they didn't stop, because they kept going. And the reason they were able to keep going and getting out of their way is they had the support system, right? Because I love seeing the results, but I love watching them prioritize support. You can achieve anything, and I mean anything that you want to in your business. And I don't care if you disagree with me, I will hold firm to this. You can achieve anything you want, but you can't do it alone. You can achieve anything that you want, but you can't do it alone. And members of my program, the Six Figure CEO Mastermind, go further, faster, because they have the support of me and other entrepreneurs who really get to know their business and give them that quality feedback, not just on the strategy, not just on the pieces, but on their behavior, on what they're doing, how they're showing up with their mindset, how they're showing up with the actions. That's what pushes you to get the big results. And I feel very, very lucky to be a part of the support system. And like, just full disclosure, right now it's open for registration. I just had someone sign up. So we're at about 3 spots left, maybe 4 spots left out of 10, right? So if this is something that you're thinking you're wanting, I'm going to drop the link in the video. Make sure you click and go over. There's an application process. The application does not obligate you. It just gives you some information to see if it's a good fit, okay? So I want you to think in your business, and I want you to share it here whenever you're watching. What's the thing that you've been putting off in your business? Is it recording a video? Is it starting a newsletter? Is it applying to speak somewhere? Is it writing a book? Is it raising your rates? Is it launching a new program? What is that thing? Whatever it is, right, you keep putting it off, and you keep saying things like, I'll do it later, or before I can really do this, I just need this thing to happen. But all of these things really mean is like, you're headed on a train to like Neverville, right? Like, this is never gonna get done. And again, I get it. This stuff is hard. It is uncomfortable to put yourself out there. It is uncomfortable to not see the results. Support is crucial for making it happen, right? But asking for support can be almost as difficult, if not more so, than the thing that you're trying to do that you need support around. So why is that? Why is it that asking for support is more difficult than even trying to navigate through the discomfort of the thing that you're doing? Well, again, that brain, remember we said your brain is wired to protect you. Your brain wants you to stop. So when you're in this stage, second guessing and doubting, and you're like, well, maybe I'll get some support. Maybe I'll hire a coach. Maybe I'll join a mastermind group. Maybe your brain's like, nope, that won't work. Let me tell you all the reasons why that's not a good decision for you right now. because your brain is trying to shut it down. It's trying to get you to stop. It doesn't want you to succeed, right? So then when you're like, well, maybe I'll get to support, it's like, no, no, no. So it'll feed you with thoughts like, you should have the answer. You shouldn't need support. You should have the answer. You should be able to do this on your own. Or you know what? That's a sign of failure. Asking for support is a sign of failure. Or you don't ask. You're going to be overstepping. You're going to be inconveniencing them. You know, they're going to think badly of you if you ask for help. You know, it's not going to be helpful. You're going to ask and they're not really going to have the information you need. How many of you ever thought things like that when you go to get support or ask for support? So now you know, because of the cycle of quitting, you know where that's coming from, why those thoughts are popping into your head. There are no truths to any of those stories, right? And just because you could eventually do something on your own, excuse me, doesn't mean you should, especially as a CEO of a business, right? This mentality of figure it out on your own, I'll do it myself, I'll figure it out on my own, it's unhealthy, and successful CEO entrepreneurs know it. It's definitely not productive, right? So the good news, right? The good news that is there really are no new ideas, right? Meaning there are no new problems. There are no new ideas, so there are no new problems. And the good news around that is some business owner somewhere in the world has gone through the problem that you're experiencing and has had to overcome that problem. And most people genuinely like to lift up and support others. Most people genuinely like to lift up and give people value. So then how do you ask for the support, right? That's something that I work on in the mastermind group, how to ask for and receive support. But in general, you have to be clear about the support you need. And if you're not clear, if you're saying it's a marketing problem or a sales problem, but like we said, it's a stopping problem, you're not actually asking for the real support you need. You have to be focused. You have to be considerate, but you have to give help. And that's what the mastermind group is wired to do. Like the most important thing you can do in order to receive help, you have to also be giving help to others. It's that equal energy flow kind of level, right? To get support, you need to be flowing out support to others. And that's what the six-figure CEO mastermind group that I run does. It allows you to both receive support from me, from other members of your mastermind, from guest experts that we bring in, and it allows you to give support to your other members so that you're like on that equal energy level, right? This is what allows you, right? Recognizing it's not a marketing problem. It's a stopping problem with maybe some marketing and sales problems mixed in, right? But once you realize that, you're like, okay, so I need the information. Yes, I need Rita to help with information. I need the expertise of the members of my group, but I need really the power of the collective. I need that collective support to really move me through something. And to get that support, I need to be giving that support. I need to be in a circle that allows for that flow of energy. And that's why the six-figure CEO has produced all the results I just shared with you, right? It allows people to make more money. It allows them to work smarter, not harder, leverage their time, get consistent clients, accelerate their growth, right? Work through challenges, like all of that, right? Like, heck yeah, it allows you to do that. I mean, there are enough excuses out there to not take action because, again, that brain, that tricky brain of yours is like, shut it down. This is scary. I don't like this discomfort of like deciding to do something that could like not work out or change our life, or like you doing this and not seeing results right away. So let's come up with all the reasons you can't do it, right? There are enough excuses out there to not do it. But I wanted this to be a super simple decision because I know that you'll get big results for your business, just like the clients I shared with you, if you participate in the six-figure CEO mastermind. But you just can't take any action if you're caught up in analysis paralysis, right? And I don't want you to get caught up in analysis paralysis over whether, should I join the mastermind? Should I not? Is it the right fit for me, right? I have made it an easy decision by making the investment price something almost anyone can manage. And you can apply for it, like I said, with no obligation. And I'm going to put the link in here for that, right? So there you go. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today, right? You can't take action if you're like sick. Does that make sense? But are you guys getting the cycle of quitting? That's the big takeaway. Do you see now why? You see it. Because it's one thing to say, be consistent, show up, be consistent, stick to a strategy. But if you don't know why you keep failing on the strategy, you'll never solve for the right problem. You'll only be solving for the wrong problem. And hopefully this video has helped you solve for the right problem. So if you have any questions, go ahead, comment below. I always come back and comment after all the replay questions come up. So leave a comment, drop your ahas, drop your questions, drop your insights. I want to hear, yes, this resonated. Yes, this spoke to me. Yes, I see myself. No, I don't want to be over here. I want to go in a straight line. I want to get out of this loop, right? And maybe you're going to join us in the mastermind and you're going to join these other incredible women who have learned how to avoid this part of the loop so that they can just keep going in a straight line and loop back to a new idea and get it done. New idea, get it done. That's what I want for you. So guys, that's the cycle of quitting. I wanted to come on and share it today. I hope you have a great Thursday. I know this is a different day and time than I normally do my lives. I had a photo shoot all day yesterday and a doctor's appointment, so I was not able to be on yesterday for that. But I did want to go ahead and share that here. I had to show up for you. I had to give you this information because I think it's really important. So I can't wait to hear your feedback. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later in the group. Take care, everybody. Bye.